Hello again. Okay, now the encounter that I mentioned was happened in the evening, around about 7 p.m. or so, and I was just enjoying a meal, minding my own business, of course, when the divvy van decides to cruise past and check out some other people that were lunching at the time. That was okay. So on the way back, they of course checked out the number plates. Now I might tell you that the number plates I have on the van are not mine. They were old plates that were unregistered anyway. I still have my original plates, but I did replace them, and I removed all that I could find of the VIN numbers, and also all my identification was not present with me that night. So I was all set up, all ready to go. Okay, so the next thing it is, the divvy van recirculates around and points straight at the side of my van, lights blazing of course. Two officers jump out of the van and come over to my window to have a chat. Evening fellas, what's the problem? I said, oh, you've got an unregistered vehicle here. I said, yes, yeah, I'm well aware of that. That's no big deal. So he said, well, maybe to you, but he said, we've got to go and check it out. So he said, have you got any identification on you of who you are? And I said, no, I haven't actually. And he said, well, what's your name? And I said, well, I haven't got one. He said, what do you mean you haven't got one? I said, Matt, I just haven't got a legal name. And I said, I'm meaning no harm to anybody. I just minding my business, and I don't wish to contract with the Crown anymore. Of course, the policeman paused for a minute to think about it. And he said, well, you must have a name. You've got to have a name to have your van registered. I said, yes, but as you can see, it's not registered, and I don't have a name to go with it. And at this point he was saying, well, I'm sorry, but you must have something there, something. And I said, no, I'm sorry, there's nothing there at all for you. Okay, so at that point he said, well, you know, it's an offence to be driving around in an unregistered vehicle, and also refusing to give ID of any sort is a bit of a problem. I said, oh yeah, okay. So anyway, he proceeded then to ring the sergeant, call up the sergeant, and some more backup, of course, at this stage. So and it wasn't too long before there was another car arrived, and also another one not shortly after. So we had at least 6 or 7 police on hand at this point. And when the sergeant come up to the vehicle, he goes through the same questioning. What's your name? You must have a name. No, I'm sorry, I haven't got a legal name. I do not associate with anything to do with the Crown. I have no contract with the Crown, and I know this is part of your legal system, which I said is all fraud anyway, and I don't wish to take part in any fraudulent or criminal activity. That's as far as I go. Anyway, he sort of went through things, and he said, well, listen, we'll have to do a bit of a search and just see if we can find anything. I said I wasn't going to be a nuisance or anything, so I said, yeah, no problem, you can have a look around if you want to. So they started looking through the front part of the vehicle at this stage, and of course they come across, which I had intended to take away, but I found the manual for the vehicle, and of course sitting in there was the original registration. So they had a VIN number which I'd already removed as much as I could find off the vehicle. There was a VIN number in there, registration date and name, and you name it, it was all there. But anyway, that's fine. I knew in my mind what I was doing, and my intent was there to not use the name for reasons that I quoted them several times. Also made it a point to bring it to their attention that they are doing illegal activity, as in legal, not illegal, even though it is illegal. So they agreed, yes, it's all legal procedure that we've got to go through, and I said, yeah, I understand that. I said, as long as you understand as well that by you asking for me ID and accusing me of being the name, or trying to get me to adhere to the name, that is a criminal offence on your part as well, which went straight over their heads, of course. But anyway, no problem. Okay, so at this point they have some joinder through the original registration papers I had there on board. So again, the sergeant asked me, now you must have something. What can we call you then? I said, well, me is fine. And he sort of frowned a bit. And I went from there. So then they decided to, okay, so then he started reading out the charges they'd found up to this point, which were 3 charges. And then he said, now, because we haven't got any ID or any identification on you, you're going to be under arrest at this point, and you'll have to be taken back to the station, or to the clubhouse, I like to call it, where we'll be able to try and identify you with something, you see. I said, okay, no problem. So he said, will you step out of the vehicle? And I thought, no, I won't push this too far. So I said, is that an order or a request, sir? And he said, it's an order. I said, oh, okay. So I said, okay, well, at my free will, I will exit the vehicle when I'm ready. So I hesitated for a while, and then I said, okay, off we go. So I jumped out the door, and he said, okay, so stand over here, and just against the divisional van, and we'll, he said, now, is there anything else you've got to declare? Is there any other weapons or anything else in your vehicle? And I said, well, I'm sorry, yes, I said, I can't lie to you. I do have a .22 rifle on board as well. Oh, okay, he says, well, we better search now. Can we go and get that rifle? And I said, yeah, certainly. He said, well, where's it located? So I told him it was over on the far side of the bed, which is located in the back of my van, which is where I'm presiding at the moment. She said, oh, do you live in the van, do you? And I said, yes. I said, I've had several houses stolen off me at this stage, so I'm sort of a bit down and out at the moment, not wanting to get back into the system as such. Anyway, so he says, stand back, sir. as if I'm going to do anything. And yeah, get your hands out of your pockets and so on and so on.